Hello and welcome to Hey, I Loved That Movie, the podcast where we rewatch the films we loved when we were younger to see if they still hold up. I'm Dan.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Helena.
And for this episode, we watched Legends of Valhalla, Thor. Me and Helena watched this about 9 years ago. I can't remember why. I think we were just looking for a Thor movie.
I think we thought that Thor was going to be on Netflix and then it wasn't, and this was.
Yeah,
and we were
so
like,
we
well, that
watched
looks hilariously bad. It was during our little phase where we watched a lot of bad films.
Yeah, that wasn't for the podcast.
No, we've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the history of this movie. We watched it once a while ago and thought we should watch it again because the fourth Thor is
There's
coming
sort of
out.
what there was one line in it that made
Yeah.
us really, really laugh.
Yeah.
that
I'm
became
not that kind of hammer.
Yeah, it became a running joke.
That no one else gets.
Were we
'cause no one else has
drunk?
seen the movie.
Were we just exhausted? I think this
Was
might
it
have been
late?
the third or fourth film we'd watched that day, so
Was
we
it
might
a
have just been
late night
delirious.
film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
'Cause
no
of that-
Because
idea.
the line's really not that funny.
Like,
I'm just going to
I
put
can
that
see
out
this
there.
film being great at like 2 in the morning. I can see this film being amazing at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
4 in the afternoon, not a good time to watch this film. I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you that from
Thor in the
experience.
afternoon.
Oh,
It
damn.
it definitely benefits from like
Yeah, from
slight
whatever the
slight
fuck
sleep
we were.
deprivation.
Well, 9 years ago we were what? I was like 20 and you were like.
That's not a valid
18.
excuse. That's not a
How old
valid
am I?
excuse.
Yeah, I would have been
Yeah.
9 years ago. I can do 17.
Guys, don't dox yourself.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Yeah, all of our information isn't online.
They just had to have your age, and that was it.
Yeah.
I want people to know my birthday. What if they send me presents?
They won't. You don't want random people online to send you presents. That's not what you want in the world.
Yeah, I do.
Send us things. Send us your money on Patreon.
No,
Anyway.
don't say that. That's a weird thing to ask for, but like, as a hint, we can do
Please.
it. There we go. We can hint at it. We just can't ask
yeah.
directly. So you made me watch this film.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I didn't have an awful time, but
Didn't you?
Like,
I
You
did.
have you have a high threshold for bad film.
Yeah,
though.
I
We
have,
have
yeah.
established
So,
this.
I actually, because this film is boring and
Yeah.
long. Considering how short it is, it feels long. I just did look into a little bit about why it was made. Did you guys know that it's the first animated film to come out of Iceland?
Which is
nice.
fair. Like, I don't want to bash this as like a film because it's like Icelandic and Iceland don't make very many like pop focused films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if it was so is the original English or was it Icelandic and then we got an English dub of it?
I think it was.
We got an English dub.
yeah.
I think it was.
Okay.
I think it was done concurrently. Like they always intended to release it in 3 languages.
Yeah, because yeah.
So it's got Icelandic, English, and German.
it was made in I think Iceland, Germany, and Ireland.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah,
where they get the team. That's just tax breaks.
just a different.
No,
yeah.
that's just tax breaks. That's like if we do a percentage of work in this country, we can
yeah.
we
We
can
get a
get
tax
a tax break from it. That's how that works.
I don't want to say it killed a studio or anything like that, but on the
Are we-
Wikipedia page,
Or
the film, the co-production is listed as CAOZ, which you can't click on. Ulysses
fair enough.
and Magma Films, neither of which have pages, but someone's made a link and it just says page does not exist.
okay, this might have killed. This might be up there with one of the studio killers. Which,
So,
by the
yeah.
way, if we ever form like a neo-punk band, can we call it Studio Killer?
Yeah.
Of course.
Cool. We'd be the worst like electronica band.
Oh no, we just do covers of the Killers, but only recording studios.
Oh, guys, they're still going. Ulysses is still going.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So that's not a Studio Killer.
They're the German ones. Their website isn't loaded. Oh, no, it is. Oh, their animations got better.
Cool.
How big are the forearms now?
So this film.
Sorry, I'm already getting distracted because I just don't want to talk about this film because it is.
It's
not
so
good.
like it does the cardinal sin of films, which is it's boring. like this film has the animation. It has mediocre animation. Not as in like it's mediocre, but it is. It's like it's not bad. There are worse animated films out there in terms of like animation quality. One of them is called Hoodwinked. Do you ever want to watch a film? This has a hoodwinked energy, but not as like chaotically feral. If anyone has ever seen Hoodwinked, it's a
surprisingly
crazy
haven't.
film.
I think it's on our list.
Incredible film because it's badly animated. Like you see the animation clip into itself a lot. it's the story is a mess. I think it's like about
Isn't it Little Red Riding Hood, but she's the bad guy.
Yeah, and it's like a cop drama. Part of it's like a cop drama, and then Hoodwinked was, I think, a reaction to like Over the Hedge style movies, and
Yeah.
Thing in the Farm. Wild film, madness, badly animated, terribly written, but so entertaining. And this film is the opposite of that, where it's like it's like okay animated for when it came out, solid like pretty good animation. Fuck, is it boring? Fuck, is it dull?
And I mean, it's hard to not compare it to other Thor films, of which, you know, obviously we have quite a few. So this Thor isn't raised in Asgard.
No.
He's a blacksmith to a rather dopey mother, like
a human mum.
A human mum. So he's a demigod.
He's essentially Hercules, but
yeah, it's Hercules, which I don't know. Like the original story of Thor, that might be it.
That could, yeah, I don't know.
No idea.
I haven't cared to find out. I mean, part of me, I think if this film was any longer, I'd have probably started looking it up.
Yeah, I just started
for
reading.
want of something to do.
Reading.
I was looking at CAOZ films. Oh, they're still going.
Good, we're getting updates.
Oh no, they've done 2 things since Thor. Yes, People and the 14th Santa. Oh wait, no, that's in development.
So yeah, he's not like Thor, the all-powerful god of thunder.
No, he's some
people.
Kid. He doesn't seem to have any powers.
He's just some kid.
Yeah,
no.
Some ginger, leggy teenager.
Yeah,
with massive forearms,
huge forearms, and he just wants to be a fighter. He just wants to be a
because he knows his dad is Odin.
Yeah, he's aware his dad is the god of gods, the father of the gods, Odin. He is just a poor little. Which, like, does that mean that? I mean, it's Odin, so yes, there's a lot of Odin's children out there.
I guess he was a bit like, was it Zeus that also was a bit of a fuckboy?
Yeah,
a bit prolific. Yeah,
he turned into a swan and fucked a woman. That's a.
I mean, that's on the woman, I think, at that point as well. Like, come on,
it's a weird time. How do you think the Minotaur was born? That's not a joke, by the way. I think that's like official. That's
official
history. Yeah, it's official. It's official law, ancient Greek law.
Sorry, it's in the Greek cinematic universe.
Yeah, the GCU.
So in this film, the gods eat the food that is sacrificed to them,
which is cool. Which is like
I like that. I
cool
really like the
concept.
imagination of like, and the gods are going kind of hungry because people aren't sending very much good stuff anymore. Like the world building in that respect was kind of cool, but this film feels so empty.
It does.
Yeah, there's really not many places to it. Even like, I mean, it's not even Mjolnir in this. It's Crusher, made by
maybe because they realised that no one outside of Iceland could pronounce Mjolnir.
Jonathan, yeah.
Does Mjolnir translate to anything, or is it just a name? Because it might translate like vaguely to Crusher.
I think it might actually.
Yeah, like it might be one of those weird vague. A lot of this film, I was like, is this a bad? Okay, so this came into that like.
Is it bad or is it a reference?
Yeah, no, this came into that like field of there are 3 things wrong with this film. Is it like 3 possible things with this film? Is it a bad film? Is it bad because it's a kid's film? Or do I just not understand the references? This film was like in all of those, like the last one we watched with Elle.
Oh, the Elm Chanted
Yeah, the Elm Chanted Forest.
That was just bad.
It was like, is it bad because it's bad, or is it bad because it's a kid's film? I feel like this dances in all 3 of those ponds at the same time.
Oh, no, it means Hammer of Lightning, or Hammer of the Thunder God.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean Crusher.
Also, to be fair, he was like a 17-year-old kid. He's going to call a big talking hammer Crusher.
Well, that's what the. I mean, he never actually says he's a leprechaun, but the very obviously a leprechaun character.
No, because at the end he says he's not an elf. He's not an elf or a dwarf. He doesn't ever say what he is.
No, but
Right.
he's Irish and he's got a green top hat
Yeah.
and he's little.
Yeah.
And he's kind of tubby.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't
Probably
know.
eats cereal.
That's such a weird. But yeah, so I would say this is the moment where we go, yeah, and then we continue with the story of the film. I can't do that because I was barely paying any attention.
Cool, do you want me to?
I'm gonna be honest. I barely watched this film.
Yeah, lead on, Dan. Cause I'm
Cool.
not-
So the little leprechaun guy tries to show off Crusher. Throws it. It hits Odin in the back of the head. Odin loses his eye. Odin gets pissed off and yeets
yeah.
Crusher. Crusher lands with Thor. Thor tries to use him as a hammer, and that's when he says, "I'm not that kind of hammer."
Oh yeah, because he tries to use him as a blacksmith hammer to
Yeah.
straighten out someone's saw or something. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
why does the blacksmith? They never actually put anything in the forge. That really
No,
bugged me.
he's
It's
not
like there's
allowed
loads
to.
of like hammering, but it's like, is that too
He's
hard to
not
animate?
Yes, it's probably
But
really
it-
hard to animate fire like that.
They're not hands because I'm with you so far, but then it gets a bit messier.
Cool.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
leprechaun
go on.
steals the Odin's eye and takes it to Hel, the Queen of Death, and she uses it to see what Odin sees.
Yep,
Uh,
because she takes out her own eye and puts his in.
yeah. Thor.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
She sends giants to attack the village, and Thor tries to fight them off with a broom. And they're like, "What are you going to do? Sweep me away?" And they're like, "Hey, that was
You're
fine."
quoting this, so we don't need to quote.
The
No,
Ice
I
Queen
remember
freezes
this.
the mum. Hell freezes the mum. Thor accidentally destroys something. He starts to like, yeah,
So Hel's like the evil guy, the big bad evil guy.
the evil
Yeah,
woman.
she's cool.
Yeah.
She's the only cool one in this film.
There's
no,
a
her
bit
and
where
her mo-
Thor gets knocked out, and and he's like, "Did I win?" And the hammer's like, "Does it feel like you won?"
She had like
the hammer's a
Isma. Is
sassy
her name
bitch.
Isma? Isma from what's the
Yzma.
Isma from the Emperor's New Groove?
Much better film.
Oh.
Yeah, she had those kind of vibes.
Yeah, with the leg. I just called him Hercules. Then Thor's mum is fucking tough. Thor's mum's great in this. Thor's mum
Yeah.
is the best character because she will happily fight some giants.
Yeah, she just goes for
She's
it.
ready
To be fair, she's hench.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's ready to throw hands with some giants, which makes me think like she's not human, that she's some sort of also a demigod or something.
Well, that's the other thing is that everyone in this, bar her, is pathetic.
Yeah.
Like they're all fucking useless. Like the fight scenes, it's like just two people sort of confused. It's like they've just like they've both been shot with tranquilizer darts and shoved into an arena, and they sort of poke each other. Yeah, they outsmart these giants really easily most of the time, or they get captured by being, picked up.
Yeah. Like I get giants are like dim-witted big things.
Yeah.
It's a kids' film, so I can't really like be like, oh.
Where
but
was the
fights
gore?
aren't
Where was the
intricate.
violence?
Yeah.
I wanted to see them ripped in twain.
Why was there no like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon fight sequences going on in this?
Why did Crusher not crush?
Yeah.
I liked the idea that they were like, oh, we can't kill them because then they'll go to Valhalla.
Yeah.
Like that was a nice out for not having
Not.
genocide on the kids' film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she just froze them and put them in hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Which is so much
And
better.
then guess what happens? They melt, or
No,
rather,
we don't get there
they
yet. When do we get there?
thaw.
Because that's a lot
soon I can
further into the story.
Yes.
Because we have
So-
a good part
so,
where he gets
can-
he gets angry at the hammer and throws it, right?
Yeah, he throws Crusher. This next bit,
Yeah.
and then
Exactly.
Crusher
There's a
keeps flying.
funny bit coming up, guys.
And the hammer's like, I've been round the world twice, and Thor's saying something, and then he stops. He's like, the world is round, and they're like, yep,
There's a funny bit, guys.
yeah, that's the joke.
That's- We-
Thor,
thing is,
Odin comes down to try and meet with Thor, and Thor's like,
yeah, because he's after
Yeah.
not really doesn't
Right.
actually want to bond with his son. He just wants
No.
the hammer.
Yeah.
yeah, because he's realised that it's powerful.
Actually, the most powerful weapon ever created.
Thor gets captured and fights an old lady who turns out to be old age, who ages him rapidly. From this point, I completely forgot
missed
anything
that
that
bit.
happened in the movie. Maybe we turned it off.
I missed.
I don't
that
know.
bit. I completely missed
There is a
anything about the
solid
old
chance,
lady.
actually, that we didn't finish the film 9 years
Yeah.
ago. Now that I
Oh.
think, now that you say that, that or we
Because
fell
from-
asleep.
The
From
premise
this
of
point,
the show,
I don't remember.
the premise of this particular podcast
Yeah.
is, hey, I love that movie, not, hey, I watched this movie like 9 years ago and
We
maybe
love that
finished
line,
it.
not that kind of hammer, because that line comes back.
It
But
does.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it
carry on,
does.
Dan.
Yeah, but
Sadly.
yeah, I mean, we couldn't do a normal Thor movie for this. I've seen it too many times to talk interestingly about it. So Thor, yeah, that happens to Thor. Hel steals the hammer and enchants it with evil.
By making it cold.
Yeah,
'Cause-
she makes it cold, and then
yeah.
she puts on armor,
Kind of
and she's got
specifically.
like pointy boob armor which sags, and that was funny. And then she
Oh, I
creates a
missed that.
blizzard.
Film. It's
And
a
then
film.
Thor ends up underground,
Oh,
where
you
he
missed
gets
my
to the
favourite patch
frozen
of
people.
dialogue. Where they're like, "What's that? It looks like a blizzard, but it's too big to be a blizzard."
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Fucking Christ.
It's a blizzard. I thought you said it's too big to be a blizzard.
Oh.
I know.
It was a blizzard.
I can't tell if the voice acting in this film is bad or the dialogue is just that badly written.
I think it's a bit of both. Because I don't
Yeah.
think they didn't exactly fork out big bucks. Because I doubt they had any
No.
bucks left. For the English dub, but it is really strange. Obviously, they go down the traditional route of like the main characters are American and then the adults are whatever they've got left.
Yeah, well,
Whoever's free on the day.
the best like voice acting I think was from the Giants because they were
Yeah.
like vaguely Scottish and like Nordic,
Yeah.
and they had solid dialogue. They had like solid voice acting. Is everyone else sounded like they were recorded separately and they
Yeah.
didn't really know what the other person was saying?
Especially, we've not mentioned it because she is so irrelevant, but Etta,
Who?
the girl
Oh,
whose pot
yeah.
he's supposed to fix at the start and he fixes it at the end, and that's her arch.
I think I looked away and looked back and she was there.
She has the
Yeah.
weirdest shaped head of the
That's rude.
group.
I can't tell if she was supposed to be Thor's love interest or
Well, vaguely.
just there.
I guess maybe
Yeah.
they cut that out, but yeah, he was
Maybe.
like kind of not quite flirting with her. Or, like it's weird
Yeah.
because it's hard to tell what kind of age they're putting him at. Like, is he a pubescent boy
Yeah.
that's like interested in girls, or is he like an adult? Like he's
Yeah, I
like-
couldn't tell if he was like maybe about 16 or so.
Yeah, I
he's
thought he
still
was,
like
like,
reading
16.
comics and has his comic book under his pillow at night.
I was thinking like 16 or 17.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got that like the animated lanky is kind of
Yeah.
how you see teenagers.
Have
in-
you touched on the like training
You-
montage?
You've been here.
Yeah, he has the training montage.
You've
Yeah,
been
that was
listening
earlier.
to this.
But have I? I'm giving this about the same amount of attention as I did the film.
Now we get to the joke Helena made because he
This is the
cries on the ice and they defrost.
yeah.
The
Did they
Ice
make
Queen.
that joke in the film?
They
No,
don't.
I don't know.
Maybe Thor is like a different
Maybe they
word for it.
should have. At least in
Yeah.
the English.
That would have
dub.
been funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
been a good joke.
let's not go that far. It would have been a joke.
And then Hel freezes the Rainbow Bridge, and they storm where Odin lives.
I feel
and-
insane.
Valhalla?
I feel like I'm
Yeah.
going mad listening to us talk
And
about
then-
this.
Oh,
Because
and then Hel
I
is
just
trying
can't.
to kill Thor with Crusher, and then Crusher isn't that kind of hammer, and he comes back to Thor.
Yeah, she's all like, "Oh, you have no power over the hammer now. It's mine." And he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
'Cause
"You're
she
not
can
that kind of hammer."
She can zap people. This also has some weird like misogyny sprinkled throughout it because you have
Oh, of course.
Freya, who is like the Odin's wife, and again,
Is it his wife? I thought it was the other daughter that just got to live with him.
I don't know, but it's Freya is like a god, a quite powerful Norse god,
Mm.
and then like when the giants are trying to storm, is that
Yeah.
Valhalla? That
Yeah, must be.
they never mention it.
Well, it's Valhalla, the legend of
Yeah.
Valhalla Thor. Is
Yeah.
the name
Yeah.
of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it must be.
And then like he calls for her help, and she brings out Valkyries who do nothing, and then that's it. That's their only part in the entire
well, I just
film.
feel like they can't afford to actually like record or animate any proper fight scenes.
But they
They're
can-
always
Definitely
just
not.
like there's a little like one-on-one fight with like maybe
Yeah.
2 people moving tops, and that's it.
But they fight. The problem, like they got the Valkyries who are like Norse warriors. They're like
Mhm.
the epitome of like Norse warrior women. They fired bows, and it did literally nothing, and it was like a
Mhm.
joke. It's
Yeah.
kind of just weird. It was like
And
why?
she's also weirdly kind of sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I mean,
big
I sort of
barbarian
hesitate to
guy
use
that
that
works
word
with
because
Hell.
she's just kind of a weird shape, but so is literally everyone else. Like, there's no person in this film where I'm like, they're
Yeah,
in proportion.
like she barely says or does anything. It's weird. It's
She
just
mostly
kind of...
just like scolds Odin.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a load of weird misogyny throughout this film.
Yeah, and then Hell is trying to kill Thor with. I've done that.
Lost with Lost.
He goes, not that kind of hammer. He gets the
he-
hammer back.
I'm so glad you got your voice
Hell.
back.
Hell, yes.
we'd have been
Hell
lost.
is like holding a sword to Thor's throat,
Yeah.
to Odin's throat, and is like, "Get rid of Crusher," and he's like, "Fine," and he throws Crusher behind him.
No,
Oh,
that's
no, it's
no, that's
Etta, not
Odin's, that's
Odin.
Etta's
It's his
throat.
Oh, it's
love
Etta, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they look the same.
We missed the best joke. The best like bit of comedy in this entire film is when he gets Mjolnir back, because it's fucking called Mjolnir. He gets it back. He's like, "I've got you," and then he just immediately launches it at Hell, and she just gets shot out the back. It's like in a millisecond, she's just out of the screen. That was so funny. Like I laughed for way too long after that. Because nothing
Yeah, it
happens.
gets you. It creeps up on you,
Yeah.
and you find the bits that they weren't intending to be
Yeah.
funny. Because there are, like, we haven't mentioned them because they're not that funny, but there are gags
There
in
are-
this.
There's
Like,
some
the
funny
mostly
bits.
to do with the dog that she rides, the, like,
Yeah.
hellhound.
Oh yeah, it kind of looks like a mix between Scrat from Ice Age and
I feel
a
sorry
wolf,
for
I
that
guess.
dog.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
like, there's a bit where he, like, shoots, like, she's chasing after Thor, and he throws a log, and the hellhound chases after it.
Yeah, 'cause
And there's
it's
a bit where
stick.
he's like doing a poo, like a dog, and then everyone's looking, and she's like, "You know, we can't go when you're looking."
Yeah.
And
And-
the other gag that I caught me by surprise was when the giants were taking turns lighting their farts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
comedy.
good time.
Let's also
Yeah.
forget Odin is riding Loki's eight-legged horse child.
Yep.
Is he?
I forgot what it's
Loki
called. Yeah,
just
yeah.
isn't in this.
No,
either.
Loki's not in this one, but that horses, that eight-legged horses, they don't talk about
Yeah.
it or where that horse comes from, and I completely understand why.
Yeah.
I can't remember
Yeah,
its
the
name,
magic of the
but
hammer also is just very vague.
It does lightning powers, and can throw and go
But it
around
also
the world.
it can help a goat-drawn carriage fly.
Yep.
Yep.
The magic flying goats. Yep.
Yes,
Yeah. So
it's
now we
good.
get the call back because he, she's holding the sword against Etta's throat, and he throws Mjolnir behind him, and then keeps chatting to her for a while, and then it's like, oh, by the way, the world is round, and then it twats her in the back of the head.
Well, she's like, "Oh, I'm not actually going to let her go because I don't.
Yeah.
I'm
Which
the
is
bad
fair.
guy."
Very much a villain.
Yeah.
Like the best villain twist is when they go, "Actually, I'm a villain. Fuck you."
Yeah.
Uh.
Yeah. So it hits her in the back of the head. She falls over. Her magic sword stabs her, and she freezes.
Yeah, which is like the most graphic thing in this entire. I thought it was like it was gonna just miss in there, Larissa. No, she gets impaled by her own sword.
Yeah. And then freezes.
Yeah,
But she still has Odin's eye, so she's like forced to watch what Odin's doing forever.
which was terrifying because it meant that they could set up a sequel.
Yeah. Maybe Loki was in it.
Something tells me this film didn't quite do well enough for them to get a sequel.
That's why it's
Maybe
so
not.
scary.
Or maybe
because
it's
we only
still in
watched it on
production.
Netflix once.
But yeah, it's
Yeah,
This
they're going to be
film-
like, "What happened?
who bought
Why
this
is this
film?
being like on the Amazon?" They're like,
Who-
"Why are people?
What?
did
Hang
they-
on,
do you
someone
think
just
this was an
bought it. Hang on.
accident? Do you think
A
that- do you
podcast
think
just
they-
released talking about this. What the
What is-
fuck?
Huh? Film,
Someone
that,
knows
I just
this
had
film?
that realization like you can track if you can track like podcasts that talk about a certain film and sales of that film on like streaming sites, you could probably work out who was making what podcast when.
Yeah. Yeah,
They're
probably.
coming for us."
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna find us. They're gonna triangulate us with our Netflix accounts.
I don't regret buying this. Well, it wasn't expensive.
No.
$2.99 to
you
own
can
it
watch
forever.
it again in the future.
Yeah, I think I might wait another 9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So out of
Maybe
10.
it'll be funny again by then.
Mate, watch 2 in the morning, guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
2 in the morning is the best time to watch it. But out of 10, because I don't have anything else to say about this film. Like, it's just kind of meh. Like, it's cool
It's just-
that it was
yeah.
made, and like,
I enjoyed some bits of it. Like I didn't have a bad time watching it.
yeah,
So that was a plus. I enjoyed some of the shitty jokes.
Yeah.
I
I
clearly paid enough attention to make notes.
I loved when she was fucking launched through the wall because
Yeah,
that's the funniest thing ever, and it's not done
exactly.
enough.
It's just
It's absolutely not.
someone rapidly moving off screen.
Yeah, just being
Or something rapidly coming in from off screen.
taken out from nowhere is always funny,
Yeah.
and it's never done. People don't realize how funny it is.
I'm gonna give it 4 to Thor
Oh, yeah.
out of 10. 4 Thor arms.
Mm.
Oh, that's exactly what I was going to give it. And also for the big forearms.
It's not great. I mean, well done Iceland for trying. Clap, clap, clap. Keep going. Everyone's got to start somewhere.
It's so patronizing.
Ouch.
It wasn't that awful. Like,
No,
I
no,
wouldn't
there
recommend it to anyone though.
No.
It's
No.
not got any like hook where I'm like, you need to see this.
are
you've got to see this. The hammer says a great line.
absolutely.
To be fair, I
worse
think
films.
the "does it feel like he won" line is actually better.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There are worse films. This just
Yeah.
has the
we've
problem
watched
of
them.
it's dull. Like nothing is good or nothing is
And I think
exceptionally good or bad.
We're
about it.
used to there just being more in animated films these days.
Yeah, because
Like,
this
there's
was
just no
2011.
background.
It came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2011. So
But-
it's not like really old or
There's been-
anything, but there's just no.
But there's always been good animation. Like,
Yeah.
we've talked about a lot of them.
Yeah.
I think it's just because it's so middle ground. It's so like mediocre that there's no good reason to watch it, and there's no like this film is so bad we need to watch it. It's just kind of like it's existent, and that's like
Yeah.
the worst place for a film to be.
So what would you give it?
4, but not Thor 4, the number 4. 4. 4 of Odin's children that didn't make it into the film, including Loki, but their children, including in the film,
Yeah.
his grandchildren.
Odin's grandchildren. Yeah.
Going to ride his grandchildren into battle.
Be prepared for the sequel, Legends of Valhalla. That horse that Loki fucked.
Loki, Legends of Valhalla,
God.
the dark of. But yeah, it's so nothing. It's so like middle ground that there's no real reason to watch it, which sounds so bad. That's like the worst thing you can say about a film.
I've definitely had more fun referencing the film over the years than I had
Yeah.
watching it this time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I
Now
think
one
Reese
of us is going to quote that, and we'll be like, "Why?"
Stop.
Yeah.
Because I remember one point we went to the beach. We went to like was it a street fair, and we got an inflatable hammer. It was
Yeah.
great. We had a great
Was
time.
that the dolphin one?
Yeah,
That
dolphin hammer. Well, no,
that
it was a
looked
dolphin
like
on a
a
stick with
dolphin with a massive
massive-
penis?
Yeah.
Because it was just
What?
the bit that you hold,
I like zoned out then for a hot second.
so it was like an inflatable dolphin hammer, but the handle was just pink
Uh-huh.
and coming out exactly where the dolphin's penis would be.
Oh,
Yeah.
The dolphins
What?
even have.
yes.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
Don't you
why
remember
I
that
don't
You know
woman
what?
jacked off a dolphin the whole time?
No,
It was on LSD.
there's that. Yeah, there's that scientific discovery that was made.
Yeah.
Where, honestly, we found out people will do a lot more than we thought they would
Yeah.
in the name of trying to get animals to talk.
Well, with that,
Daniel, you don't get it out of 10.
he said Thor arms, but
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. You get a
did you come
four,
up with
yeah.
another one?
Yeah, I gave it four sassy bitch hammers.
Hammer could have been sassier.
It could have been sassier, but
Yeah.
it was sassy enough.
He had the most personality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the hammer definitely did have,
yeah, it did.
which is sad
not
because
that
the
kind
hammer
of hammer.
shouldn't have that much personality.
He's not that kind of hammer.
No. Okay, well, with that,
With that depressing episode where
Yeah.
we just complain.
So they can't all be bangers.
no.
It'd be nice if we did one or two, though.
Well, I've been Dan.
I've been Michael.
And I've been Helena.
You can find this podcast on Twitter and Instagram at HiltonPod. That's at HILTM We're on Discord as well, and we're on Patreon.
Yeah, if you want to.
If you would like to support the show.
Yeah, because we're gonna make a talking hammer. With your Patreon money, we're gonna make a sassy talking hammer, and we're gonna make it the strongest weapon in the world. I'm gonna take it to a god, see what the god does with it. That's not. I'm probably going to ask for our weight in gold. That's what we're going to do with your Patreon money.
It's a sound
Yes.
investment.
So send it,
It
in
is.
now.
We're definitely not just going to get a hammer and strap one of those like voice record boxes you get in
No.
cards to it.
I honestly didn't even think about that. I just thought we'd run away with the money. No, we're going to make a talking hammer.
And continue the podcast.
No, well, I'm going to
Promise
deviate
not to-
at
well,
this
at least
point.
now you know, if you support us from now, none of that money will go towards The Legend of Valhalla, Thor.
I may have accidentally deleted my entire notes thing.
No, let's go.
Hang on.
Let's go.
Whoops.
No notes in
Oh,
recycle.
it's almost like writing it down on paper, and you can't lose it.
I've never lost my notes.
Well, you're
What the fuck just
that
happened? I
far,
literally
understand.
closed it, sorted out Audacity, and all of my notes are gone.
Damn. Must suck for some people.
Oh man, you're gonna have to just improvise it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go off your
well,
memory off of the least memorable film ever made.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I remembered so little of this film.
Yeah.
It was like I was watching it for the first time.
I accidentally archived it. There we go. Let me unarchive it.
No, keep it forever. Keep it indefinitely, Dan.
Well, it's because I edit the same notes thing every single time.
What a horrific way to do it. What a terrible way to do it. No wonder you accidentally delete it sometimes.
Yep. That's fine.
Is
It was
it?
only as I pressed record that I accidentally deleted all my notes. Right, I have them back. Are we ready?
I was born ready.
I don't want to talk about this film for political reasons. The political
Right.
reasons being I think it's a bad film.
Ooh.